Hello, this is David Deckel from Baltimore, Maryland, and I'm a Leeds United fan. And we're back, bitches, and we're never fucking leaving.
Yes,
and
the
you're
championship.
listening to the DU Football Show.
Actually playing that this time, not to take a shot at Geckel, but Mr. Geckel reached out and a little foreshadowing. When we go into the championship and start off with championship corner, we're leading with Leeds.
Yeah, because you owe him apologies. Y'all were rude last week.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stump of Malört. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to DU Does the EFL, a completely biased brief recap of the English Football League as told by three common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and with us tonight we have Alan and Hiram. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Living the dream, baby.
You know, are you ready to talk about the little people again?
Always.
Well,
It's my favorite part.
The little people you used to be a part of?
Well, easy. Relax.
Well, Hiram supports a team that doesn't even comprehend that there's leagues below them.
They
Harry
probably
Carey's
should,
like-
though, with their performance.
He goes, wait a minute, English Football League. I thought that's what we already did.
I was going to say,
What's the championship?
So there are other teams?
I mean, you know, until they lose to them in the FA Cup. We're recording at the DU Public House, just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcast. Of course, we stream every Monday night as well for our primary show, the DU Football Show. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Producer Mel, can you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Well, you can always email us at gufootballshow@gmail.com or follow in all the socials. We will return messages on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, we're not going to pay the money, so if Mr. Musk starts charging, we'll be gone.
Yeah, I tweet a little bit during games, and that's pretty much about it anymore. It's
I just use it to troll fucking conservatives.
I mean, we might go to Threads.
I was gonna say use Threads. Might as well do that.
Is it happening in Threads, Young Fresh?
It was for a week.
So where's the good action now, Young Fresh?
It's still Twitter.
Yes, it is.
Mel, it's young, hot, freshness.
I was like, can't forget the hot.
Gotta
Young,
give him
hot
his full title. He's the young hot freshness.
I was smoking, goddammit.
even though he's living and dying at the same time.
Hell yeah, I'm getting old. My knees hurt.
And also, of course, I forgot. Hello, producer Mel on the ones and twos. How you doing, darling?
Hello, I'm good. That's all. That's all I got.
That's it.
Okay, her suburban pain pills kicking in,
Oh yeah,
aka gummy.
and aspirin.
And aspirin.
Everybody's still drinking the same whiskey, but I did crank out another one of the unicorn bottles because we talked about it on the main show. I tell you what, that dog went out to the bathroom and he's just being an asshole now.
He's saying he's not been paid attention to in 5
Hey,
days.
so your shit.
Well, I mean, he's scratching at the door. Thank God Graham's not here, or else we'd have a what the fuck moment.
He has thoughts on the EFL.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He does have thoughts.
Fuck them.
You know, that's pretty much what he has to say, and
Fucking dumpster fire.
that's pretty much what it is. So see, it was like he never left the fucking room, right? You know, he's still here. One of the other unicorn bottles that we're fucking around with is the Wild Turkey Master's Keep. This is their annual limited release. In each year the bottle changes, the way they do the bottle changes as well. Fancy. It's a gorgeous decanter bottle. This is the one. It is a 10-year-old single barrel bourbon. It is absolutely fucking delightful. This was number 10 on the same Whiskey Advocate list as the Old Fitz
There's a little
was.
water in here. Can I just have a splash?
You want a little splash?
Just a little wet whistle. Just try her out. Oh yeah, that's good. Sexual.
Mash it.
Just like the old Fitz, it is just an old school American bourbon, just done really fucking well.
Yeah, so good.
Worth the price tag is the Turkey high end releases.
Yeah.
Because they also, unlike the Fitz or the Weller or the stuff coming out of Sazerac that end up being really overvalued, these, like, this was a $150 bottle. We got it for $200.
Kind of fly under
It doesn't go too crazy and just good old school fucking bourbon, man.
It's the good shit.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. We start with the championship.
Championship corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
As I've said many times before, if a tree falls in the forest, did it even make a sound?
No.
This will be on the cutting room floor, all of that.
It's dramatic effect.
And you guys were all great because you all shut up for it, and just knowing that it's going to get cut out. But let everybody know, there was a moment.
The silence made it better.
We open up with Leeds, and Leeds did something that they don't typically do, much like Arsenal winning at Goodison. Leeds won in London.
Ooh.
In fact, they won at Millwall. They went to the Den, and they won 3-0. And a fun fact that I got from Lars, the softest hands in the business, it is the first time they have won at the Den since when a young Harry Maguire was on loan at Leeds.
Damn.
I'm not Harry Maguire. I'm sorry, Harry Kane. Harry Kane.
Harry Kane?
Oh.
Yeah, Harry Kane, because it was Maguire played for Charlton before he went to Leicester. My apologies there, Freudian slip. But the other interesting thing, Hiram, you'll be happy to know, there's a club in London that's more racist than yours.
Oh, really?
Millwall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's
proper racist.
let it be said. I think you can apply the Bill Burr joke when Bill Burr does the, you know what they say about people in Boston, bunch of fucking racists.
Yeah.
I think you could take that Bill Burr joke and go, you know what they say about people in Millwall, bunch of fucking racists.
Yeah.
Note to self: never go to Millwall.
There's a reason why the terrorist attack with a knife was stopped by a Millwall supporter.
Yeah.
He was looking for a fight.
Yeah. He also had a knife.
He was looking for that scrap. Talking with Geckel as well, he finally reached out, and that's why I had him open the show, is because Geckel reached out and talked a little bit about Leeds with me and how the match went. 3-0 was not a really true reflection of the scoreline. They had to handle a lot of pressure early on, and there was a couple of counterattacks that did it for them. And apparently Daniel James came in as a sub and just accidentally walked into 2 assists, like falling over his own 2 feet.
That's how it happens.
He had a couple of assists.
It'd be like that.
Yeah. Do be like that.
But in the top 10, they've kind of solidified what their team's going to be like.
Yeah.
Willie Nato's not going anywhere. They went and they got some just proper championship strikers, people that aren't going to be with them if they come back up, but they're going to get the fucking job done there. That's for damn sure. Yep. And it was
you need those guys.
Good to see that they're finally starting to come together and figure it all out, which is nice. Moving on, the Foxes continued their winning ways over Southampton. Fortunately for Kenny, it wasn't a 9-0 loss like it was back in the Prem, but it was 4-1.
Yeah, Southampton looks like they're in trouble down there.
Which is funny because they still have Armstrong and Adams, and you'd think they'd be like...
I think we had this discussion last time I was on. I was like, I don't understand what's really happening there, but again, that shit can shell shock you if you're not ready for going down to the championship. And
Leicester got fucking depleted, like depleted.
Oh, we fleeced them,
and they're fucking second and cruising right along. This rubs me like a team that, as long as they can handle the pressure of, like you said, don't finish in third. Just don't finish in third. Don't be in the playoff.
Doesn't have to be first, but
just
you
get
don't
the
want it to be
fucking
third.
promotion. Don't be in third. And So they're sitting comfortably in second place right now. And then, of course, Huddersfield got their second win of the season, actually finally pulled themselves out of the bottom half. I mean, not the bottom half, but out of the drop zone. They were off to a real fucking shit start. So good to see them get a win as well. And unfortunately, both Sheffield Wednesday, who there was great expectations for coming up from League One after going down, pardon me, and Middlesbrough, who many picked to win the league this season, still without a single win. And each of them only with one draw, sitting at the bottom two spots of the table, man.
Yikes.
Yeah, not it is for a old story club like Middlesbrough, like how it was for Pompey when they went down, and how it was for Sunderland when they went down, and how it is currently for Derby County. You don't want to fuck no. Reading too. Reading's down there right now and having a tough time
there. Like, we've got. You made mention of it. We've gone down twice, and the one thing I will give Mike Ashley in both of those instances is he did what he had to do to get us back up, because one, that was his cash cow,
right,
and two, he knew second season the odds dropped dramatically.
Right,
we kept a couple of guys who should have been Premier League players at the time. We kept Rafa Benitez. You have to get back up, or you can be down there for a long time.
Well, in like at least championship, you at least middle class in the championship. You go down to League One,
you ain't getting shit.
The only TV you getting is Tuesdays in March and April. That's it.
Yep.
It ain't everybody getting TV.
Like you better hope you draw a Man City in a fucking FA Cup or a League Cup.
Like the gate pays for everything when you go down to League One. And for some of these clubs, like I said, like a Reading or a Derby County, like that could be fucking catastrophic. I mean, I know we talked about it the last time you were on the show, but you're just not obviously you hate Sunderland. That's your bitter arch rival. But if you saw Sunderland Till I Die when they went down to League One, it was like, it was catastrophic to a stadium that sits fucking 60,000. Like all that upkeep, everything you needed, and you're not putting that many asses in the seats. You're fucked.
Look, as much as I despise them, I think most people would say that's a Premier League club. They're well known and have history just like us. But yeah,
it's a one club city. It's a massive fucking city. You
get down there, man, and you get stuck, and you can never come back up.
Moving on to League One, Pompey remain undefeated, but in sixth place because it's a shit ton of draws, 3 wins, no losses, and 4 draws. And but they drew Derby County, which, Hiram, you have a little bit of an eye on Derby, for obvious reasons as a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah. With Lampard and being the former manager there, and then of course Mason Mount being on loan there, that pretty much kind of was like a connection with my reason of taking a liking of Derby County. Aside from that, it was just FIFA. I'll be real. Playing FIFA, I guess I just chose like whatever shithousery lower league English club there was. I saw Derby, simple club, just black and white.
Yeah.
Nothing else to beat that.
So it's the black and white. That's what I like them.
Yeah.
Oh, also in a sheep or a ram or whatever the photo.
Yeah, I think it's like a
little ram.
It's a ram.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's a ram. Yeah, that's a cool little emblem.
And then the funniest story ever, Hiram, you don't know about this, so I'll set the stage for you. Wigan got demoted from the championship down to League One, and they promptly got handed a 8-point penalty because they like to overspend a lot, and they do this all the time. Like all the fucking time. So every time they go down to League One, they typically start in this hole. And they currently have a record of 4 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses, and sit in 20th place.
What the
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just love checking in on them because it was like they started 4-0-0. And well, no, I'm sorry. They started 3-0-0, and then they had the loss, then they had the draw, then they had another loss, and then they had the win this past week, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Fuck.
They spend like they're a massive club that just went down, and they're like, we're fine. The gate will cover it.
Yeah.
The gate ain't covering it.
Yeah, no.
Wigan.
I mean, if only they're allowed to also incorporate the rugby gate, because the rugby gate
the rugby
would
gate
help
would
cover
pay
it.
for it. That's a fact.
They're a rugby town that fancies
yeah.
themselves a Premier League club, and it just goes horribly wrong. And then our boy Ben Kay, the groundskeeper at Accrington Stanley, he's a boyhood Wigan guy, and whenever I do an interview with him, I always just go, "So Wigan." Go. Just let him just lose his fucking mind over it. It's just to hear a proper Englishman just lose his shit over his lower league club is just
that sounds right.
It's a thing of art.
Yeah.
Absolute art. Exeter and Port Vale both get 1-0 wins and still currently sit first and second in the table. So I'm sure Jay, our Fulham supporter, big fan, keeps an eye out on Exeter because one of their guys was on loan there.
Yeah.
He was telling a story last week, and the player's father had died of cancer, and they retired the 9 at Exeter City.
Yeah, I did see that actually.
And they let him, they unretired the 9 so
for him.
His son could wear the 9.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. So it makes you feel good there. Reading got a big win over Bolton, but this is a team that got demoted, and this is what we were talking about before, where you can get into trouble. Find themselves still currently sitting in 21st place in League One.
But see, like, you're right. That's a perfect example. I mean, those are two teams that, like, I knew as Premier League sides and, like, as, you know what I mean? Like, especially Bolton.
Well,
Maybe
Bolton,
not
that's
so
their
much Reading.
second loss. They're in 7th.
Yeah.
They're in and around the discussion.
Yeah.
They were in the playoffs last year, so you feel like they're going in the right direction. But Reading, like, that's their second fucking win of the season, and it's like
Reading does not look good.
and also Reading's like a right proper fucking championship club. This is a team that should do like what you did when you went down to the championship, win and go right the fuck back up.
Right back up. Yep.
Yeah, it was all a bad fucking dream.
Dude,
Move on.
I'd say the same for Bolton. Like, I mean, Bolton, I've always known Bolton as a club, like, maybe a little yo-yo-y at the time, but they always came right back up and spent a year or two and then went down again.
Well, Bolton's big problem is after the Allardyce years and after Stuart Holden had the leg break against Man United, they made it to Europe that year. And then everything fell apart. And when they went down, they went all the way down to League 2. They were at a point of almost being liquidated.
Administration,
I mean, not even just liquidation. Like they were going to dissolve the club. It was them and one other club that year. And that other club, unfortunately, got dissolved and Bolton didn't. And then Bolton moved their way up. And then last year was their first year back in League One. They made the playoffs. So it's like, they're finally moving in the right place, but
because they have a big old stadium too. The Reebok.
Oh God, yeah, the Reebok's
a big
proper stadium.
like Premier League stadium, championship stadium,
built in like the 90s, early 2000s. So it's not even a very old ground either. It's fairly relatively
even
new.
I always remember them in Brighton, like when they were down. When Brighton was down, I used to be like, "Oh, the Amex is gorgeous. Like that's the proper field." Like. And so, same thing with Bolton. It's sad, but it happens.
And keeping it moving on to League Two, as we mentioned before, Accrington Stanley, which is for me and Graham, are one of our like kind of adopted clubs because them and Pompey as well from League One, Portsmouth. But with Accrington Stanley, Ben Kay was the former groundskeeper at Chorley United. That was a team that was in the National League that got Derby, in fact, in the FA Cup. He famously stayed up for 48 hours with a tent over top of the field with heating elements trying to thaw the field out. And he, got on the BBC because of all of that. He eventually got to go to Wembley for the year that, just to go ahead and throw a little more salt in your wound, the year that Leicester beat Chelsea for the FA Cup.
You just love to bring that up.
And of course that exposure and everything got him the job at Aki. And we talk to him every single year. We always do interviews with him, and that's Accrington is kind of our little, heart club. And Aki got a big old win over Sutton, and they beat them 4-1, which now finds Sutton as the new worst team in all of English football. They are currently in 22nd place in League Two.
Yeah. That's National League all over.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, and they're one of those teams that came up from the National League a few seasons ago. They kind of got that influx. There's been a lot of teams that Wrexham's a very different story because it's a very storied program that has gotten. But like you look at Harrogate City and Sutton, and there's a couple others that are like very new clubs. They were formed in the 2000s in kind of suburban neighborhoods with a good amount of money. I mean, a great fucking Annapolis. Right, like that kind of thing where there was already a built-in support business of people that were just like, we want to get behind this club.
He's got a little infrastructure and stuff like that.
So I wonder how it's going to go for them if they go back down as well. And of course, Doncaster, who was previously the worst team in all of football, that Everton was only able to manage to be 2-1 after being down 1-0 for 70 minutes of the fucking match.
The beauty of the cup.
It was in their building though, so to be expected.
What, their high school soccer field?
Yeah, essentially. They had a decent enough ground. They're
decent size.
Doncaster finally got a win over Forest Green Rovers, which moved them not out of the drop zone. No, out of the drop zone because it's only 2 clubs that go down in League 2.
Correct. Yes.
So move them out of the drop zone on goal difference. And the other club that is now in the drop zone is, as Sam would say, Liverpool's most famous club, the Tranmere Rovers, who lost 3-2 to Crawley Town. Now, obviously, the image problem is gone, but I know you, Alan, had heard about the story at Crawley Town, the manager there. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and paint a picture for you here, Hiram. Buckle up. This one's fun. The manager at Crawley Town from a few seasons ago, the terrorists had to dress in different rooms. The hard R's had to dress in a different room. And
think of a word that changes with a hard R.
Yeah. And use the hard R to their faces. Called the Arab players terrorists. Called the Asian players slant eye. And they were all to dress in a different room than the proper white English players.
Yeah.
And then after being fired, a year later gets interviewed. Double down. You all don't understand me. I was right in how I ran my club. The look like
I think the coup de grace really is like, so he was suspended, and then the FA appealed the suspension. It was like, that's just not long enough. Make it longer. Like the FA was like, yeah, that's not 7. No. Make it longer.
No, forever.
Yeah,
don't ever come back. We don't ever need you here ever again.
We're good now.
There's shit that goes on in this country. Yeah. There's absolutely shit that goes on in this country.
Look,
but that
I will say,
but Hiram, that we just. How you as a player can handle the world. Like, Mel's knocking over her mic. She's heard the story before. But, like, how you can look at a player that you coach and hit them with the hard R to their face.
You guys see me in the parking lot. I got to beat the fuck out of you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And, like, not only that... You've already reached a point, like, you've got enough different kinds of browns that you need to make multiple separate dressing rooms.
Right.
Like, not just one. Not like, hey, all you browns, get over there.
Well, and you need to classify all those browns.
Brown, that's a fried rice brown.
The fact that he was able to get away with
greens brown. Like,
all right, I'm gonna say this.
Okay, we wound him up enough. Go ahead.
Let's go.
Young hot freshness.
The fact that this man was able to go in his car and go home
Right?
after doing all of that shit.
After young professional athletes were right in front of him, not whooping his ass.
Oh, you got to see me in the Alcatraz when I'm done.
I'm beating the brakes off your ass.
I'm beating the fucking what's the
Look at this motherfucker.
I'm beating the radiator off of that motherfucker.
You gotta send me to the Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. It's not even active prison anymore.
Island prison is where you have to send me.
I'm saving the world from chemical fucking warfare.
Yeah.
You gonna think a fucking monkey stole his face from him? That's how bad. Oh boy! Oh.
He might have used that as a line afterwards.
Honestly,
no.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. Boy would have been nice from him.
Yeah.
That would have been a term of endearment, for fuck's sake. What you wonder ultimately is with those players, it's like you're playing League Two, you're desperate to fucking play professional football, and you just let that bullshit happen because you're just desperate to play professional
I
football.
think it's not only that, you're desperate to play, and you're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You need this fucking money.
This is keeping you alive and your family supported. Like,
yeah,
which makes it not better at all. But like, it's ridiculous.
I'm all about peace and nonviolence and all that. I'm fucking him up.
Listen, I am a lover, but I am an adept fighter, and I would fuck that motherfucker up.
Yeah, I'd rip his dick off. That's exactly what I'd do. That would be the first thing I'd do would be grab him for that fucking dick, pull that shit right off. Be like, you don't need to breathe.
I would just try to hit him with stereotypical ethnic shit.
We lost him.
I've been throwing like rap albums at him and shit.
Take this chronic, bitch.
Fucking mariachi bands and shit, like accordions.
It's in 36 chambers, you motherfucker.
Alan be standing on top of him going,
It's the moment of truth, you son of a bitch.
oh, fuck.
I cut us over the fucking Wu-Tang vinyl. I don't give a shit.
Be like, Wu-Tang is for the children, motherfucker. The children.
You know how much original Prince 36 Chambers is worth?
Oh, my God. All right. With all that being said, we finished with fucking Wrexham,
this fucking team,
who got another win and another shutout.
Yeah.
Who would have thought getting rid of Ben Foster would have solved all your fucking goal problems?
That guy.
Hey, you're welcome.
Fucking awful.
Yeah, they get won 3-0 over Grimsby Town, but now find themselves in the top 4.
Nice.
So. All right, cool. All right, boys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Hiram, how'd you enjoy chatting first, football and then fuckery?
And then racism.
The football was good. I was dying at I'd rip his dick off. Mainly because the first thing that came to my mind was a video of some guys at an MMA fight. It's like, grab his dick and twist it.
Fucking bro.
It's legendary shit.
Oh my God. And Alan, any parting words, my good sir?
Sunderland fucking sucks. Have you ever seen a Macam in Milan? Have you fuck?
There we go. You knew the Newcastle boy had to come through proper with the time wear.
We're in Milan tomorrow. I had to.
Yeah. Always remember Milan. Always remember Milan.
I got to. That's probably the highlight of it.
Well, I mean, hell, you get to go to Paris too.
Yeah, and Dortmund.
Yeah.
You can't even fly into Munich for that one.
Yeah,
you got to fly into like Frankfurt.
Oh,
Fuck's that for?
Well, hopefully it's in October.
Oh, it is actually.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah,
Germans aren't ready
Me
for
and the
the
missus are going to try to make it to France
English
in November. That's the plan.
Are the Magpies even going to make it to the fucking stadium, or are they just going to be in the beer garden the entire time watching from there?
Apparently, we broke UEFA rules today. We were late for our interview or our press conference. So, welcome back to the Champions League. Now, there was a storm. Our flight was delayed, but the UEFA made a big deal about it.
Excellent. All right, everybody. If you're new checking out the show and you haven't heard us before, check out our main show, the DU Football Show, which we cover the English Premier League every single week, and we drink a lot of alcohol while we do it. Yeah. And Mel, and want to tell everybody how to find our Patreon?
Our Patreon is patreon.com/DU Football Show. But let's be honest, you're not typing that in. So just scroll on down, find the link. You'll see the link to that, our website, dufootballshow.com. And if you don't know where to get podcasts, we have a whole lineup of like 30 apps. I mean, there's like 7, but it feels like 30 apps. Right there, you can click on any one of those. And if you're looking for some fly swag, check out the dudripshack.com.
And a few more shout outs from our boy, Mr. Graham. This one's directly for you, Alan.
Oh, shit. Hashtag Linton, Joel.
His government name.
Facts.
Peach of a goal. I always do. Sam, fuck off. I hate that shit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Graham, for joining us. Until next week, everybody.
Good night.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stuff of Malört. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!
Oh, no. Did he say Linton, Joel? He would.